Start your week on the right foot with our executive breakfast market briefing. Every Monday morning, we invite you to join us for an insightful session that combines valuable market knowledge with highlighting opportunities in the equities and fixed income markets. Stay ahead of the curve as we discuss key market trends, analyze the latest news, and provide you with actionable strategies to ensure you make timely and informed decisions and also have a profitable week. With a lineup of expert speakers and real time insights, join us as we help you navigate the complexities of the market, giving you the confidence you need to make informed decisions. Whether you're a seasoned investor or you're new to the market, our sessions are designed to cater to all levels of expertise. Don't miss out. Join us every Monday from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. via the Zoom channel to boost your financial acumen. Let's make this week profitable together. We can't wait to see you there.
Uh, Good morning to our esteemed customers. We would like to thank you for taking out the time to join us this morning, and welcome to another executive breakfast session with us at Lead Capital PLC. To begin with, we'll start with the fixed income markets. We'll look at what transpired in the markets during the previous week and what do we expect to transpire in the new week. So quickly looking at the various markets, starting with the money markets, we saw a very flat money market session throughout last week. And that was, I would say, surprising when compared, when we looked at all the activities that transpired. Last week, we had OMO auction, we had the FGN bond auction. We would have expected that those activities would significantly move the market. But surprisingly, at the end of the week, we saw that the funding rates remained flat as the open repo rate closed at 26.50 and the overnight rates barely lost 5 basis points to close at 26.83. And this is largely due to the fact that system liquidity remains strong. As at the end of the session on Friday, we saw liquidity levels at around 1.25 trillion. And we hope that this week the story might still remain. So we anticipate that this week, rather, the story might remain the same, as we have just very marginal outflow expected to leave the system this week. That's barring any other further outflow, likely the CBN CRL debit. But we would keep our eyes open because these rates kind of give us an indication as to what the other markets how the other market would play out. But looking at the Treasury bills secondary market last week, we saw that the market closed on a bullish note, all thanks to the liquidity levels in the system. When liquidity is very strong in the system, we would see improved buy interest. And looking at what transpired at the equities market, when my colleague gets there, we saw that the market closed on a bullish note. One would have naturally expected to see at the opposite of that play out in the fixed income market. But looking at the liquidity levels in the system, we saw the activities at the secondary market of the treasury bills also are printed out very strongly, as we saw improved buy interest largely around the 1 year maturities. And at the end of the week, we saw the average yield declined by 19 basis points to close at 20.64%. At the last auction, just like we had presented to us last week, we saw serious over we likely saw significant oversubscription from the 400 billion that was offered by the CBN. We saw a total subscription of 1.5 trillion naira. At this week auction, where we have 287 billion worth of Nigerian treasury bills on offer, we expect to see another round of oversubscription, and that will be on the back of the liquidity levels we rightly mentioned earlier. It is currently above the 1 trillion landmark. So we would expect that the rates at the next auction would close largely around the levels they did last week. So this is just to serve as a refresher to us, to let us know what is happening in the market, and also to understand that the rates are not going to remain high or remain elevated going to remain elevated in the market for long. So as such, we expect that the investors will be taking positions as soon as they can, because the levels we have currently might not be present for so long. So looking at the bond market as well, we saw similar sentiment played out in the bond market. But one surprising thing we saw was at the back of the treasury, sorry, of the bond auction I held last week, we saw a mixed market. While the auction closed on a bearish note, because we saw rates increase on both maturities that were offered as the 2029 and the 2031s and maturities that were offered at the auction. We saw that the buy interest at the secondary market actually pushed down yields, as we saw that at the short end of the curve, yields advanced by around 11 basis points, largely due to some sell-offs we saw on that end. And on the mid to the long end of the curve, we saw that was where we saw most of the activities for last week, because the auction that held was the 2029 and at the auction, the bonds that were offered were the 2029s and the 2031s. So we saw most of the buy activities or the buy pressure were on that bond, which is why at the mid end we saw a decline of 3 basis points. We saw a decline of 3 basis points across the yield curve. So the maturities that were largely traded, we saw the 2026, okay, the short end, we saw more of sell-offs on that end. The 2029, the bond on auction, the 2031s. We also saw some activities pass through the 2035 and the 2053s. In all of this, we've seen some institutional investors begin to take positions. And what that points to us is that some of these guys are beginning to see that the level of yield currently available in the market might disappear anytime soon. Such they're looking at positioning, and that's where some of our funds come into play. Looking at our fixed income fund, which is a largely fixed income product that invests mostly in FGN bonds and some corporate bonds. We've seen yields on that bond also, sorry, on that fund area also uptick to around close to 19% now. I'm sure investors currently in that fund can testify to the rapid growth we've seen in the fund in the past 12 weeks and months. And that's to point us to the fact that for those who are still contemplating or who do not have stake in these funds, I think it's the best time to take positions, because once yield starts to decline, the funds become more expensive to even come in. But at the end of the week, we saw that we saw the average benchmark bonds advanced by 1 basis point, closed at 19.03%. For the foreign exchange market was mixed. At the sports rates was down by an average of 31 basis points to close at 1,605 naira 55 kobo. And at the forward contracts, we saw marginal appreciation from the 1 month to the 1 year, as you can see on the chart, so on the table above. But it is important to note that there's still a lot of uncertainty around the foreign exchange market, and that's all thanks to the current developments in the global space. So looking at the crude oil prices, just as of this morning, we've seen prices decline below the $60 level per barrel. And we should recall that when the Nigerian government was projecting our budget estimate for the year 2025, they had pegged crude oil price at around 75. So we're looking at roughly over $15 dollars below the benchmark bond. So the benchmark price in our budget. So that simply points to one thing: we'll see further pressure on the naira. So it's also advised us that for as much of sorry for as much as those for as many as those who have exposure to foreign exchange, I think now is the best time to either hold on to them or even try to load on to that, because we'll likely see further depreciation in the naira. And for those who have FX and are looking to diversify, I think it's a very good time to also look at diversifying your products, so your portfolio rather. And that's where some of our products also come into play. And largely the mutual fund, the dollar fixed income mutual fund. And also, if you look at the Eurobond trading opportunities, looking at all of this, it helps you to diversify, to edge against further depreciation of the naira, while you still continue to earn returns on your investments. But for our outlook for the week, and just like I said at the beginning, we have just the Nigerian Treasury bills auction taking place this week, and we do not see that significantly impacting on the funding rates, considering the levels of liquidity in the market of about 1 trillion naira. So we'd expect that funding rates will remain at the levels where they closed last week, and that's barring any other significant outflow, which would likely be the CBN CRR debit. For the treasury bills market, we expect that the secondary market would trade very quietly as we look at what would play out rather at the premium market auction, while the bond market, we still expect some buy sentiments to remain, as the liquidity in the market will further fuel investors taking position. Looking at our products very quickly, we've mentioned that the yields in the fixed income space look very attractive for now, and it would be very unfair for any investor to overlook the current levels that we have, and not position. You'll be doing yourself some serious injustice. And that's where our fixed income fund products comes into play. It's the fund likely invests in fixed income assets where 70% of the funds are invested therein, and 30% goes into the money market instruments. With the yield level in the fixed income space and then the rate level and the money market space, I think the combination of both gives any investor a very good opportunity to scale through their investment and make significant returns. So with as low as 50, 100,000 naira, you can invest in these funds. For those who currently have holdings in that, they can testify to the returns they've been making. And also, in addition to that, the fund also pays dividend twice a year. In the next 2 months, we'll be looking at paying interim dividend. And we just like to implore or call on those who are yet to sign up for this product, or those who currently have holdings there, to also increase their holdings to enjoy the good dividend payment and also capital appreciation on your investment. For the lead balance fund, in recent times, we've seen some upticks in the equities market. When you combine that with the activities in the fixed income market, it gives you a well-balanced portfolio such that you get to tap from both axes of the market. And our lead dollar fund, I mentioned earlier, there's still a lot of uncertainties currently around the foreign exchange markets. So it will be best that you diversify your investment by looking at other dollar-denominated assets. Eurobond trading, for clients who have at least $200,000, you can also partake in this opportunity, as it gives you exposure to the Eurobond market across the sub-Saharan Africa market and also beyond. And you get to enjoy coupon payments in dollars. And lastly, for our Gizal portfolio product, it's a fixed income product, so a fixed deposit product rather, where you get to lock in your funds for as low as 90 days to 1 year. The fund invests largely in other money market instrument that offers competitive returns, and we're very confident that the rates the product offers is quite competitive when you compare it to what you would get from your regular commercial banks. And with this, we come to the end of the fixed income market. For those who might be looking to invest in any of the product, you can always contact our customer service and they will direct you accordingly. Thank you. So we'll hand you over to Mr. Amosun to take us through the activities at the equity market. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel, for that wonderful presentation. Once again, good morning, our high esteemed investors, lead investors. So we thank you for joining us once again. And on a quick note, just a session outline what we are looking into in the equity space, the opportunity that's available in the market, the results that already filter into the market, and how we can take advantage of the market. So that is why we are here. What are the opportunity? What are the actions that we need to take this week going forward? So on a first note, we look at what happened last week, the first quarter results, our recommendations, and the corporate action for this week, and our weekly expectation. So last week, out of the 4 trading days that we had last week, it was 2 days were bearish, and the 2 other days were also what bullish. That means that there was no win, but the market still remained that upward trend that we saw last week. So on the first day, the market closed positive. The second day, it was negative, and on Wednesday, it was also on negative. On May 1, we had a public holiday, but the market closed on a positive note. So the all share index appreciated by 0.277 to close at 106.04257 compared to what we have in the previous week of 105.7.261. This shows us that the market is not static. That means that there is an upward trend, bearish trend. That shows us that the market is not a static market. Market will always reflect the market condition. That means that an efficient market is a market that reflects corporate action, what is going on in the market. And we have seen that with the result that was posted in the first quarter, the market have responded positive to the market situation. We saw companies posting out results, and we can see at the top of the trade that we had last week, Fidelity Banks, Access OD, and UBA were top rated stocks that we had last week. We saw results from the banking sectors. Other sectors also doing well from the result they posted. We saw the consumer goods, the likes of NASCON, the likes of UAC, the likes of Dangote Sugar. Despite their huge loss last year, and we have seen the first quarter results, that they are now moving from the negative zone to the positive zone. What does this tell us? That the market is not just a mono market, that is only one market that is dominating. So that means that it's a need for us to look at our portfolio, that not just focus on one sectors, across all sectors. With the results that we have seen now, we saw what the likes of Presco posted, we saw what the likes of Okomu posted, what the UAC, the Dangote Sugar. That means that the market has a huge opportunity for all investors. So what we are advising this morning is that based on the result that we have seen, that the market seems to be more robust. All sectors are doing well despite the huge economic challenges that we are currently facing. People are using their ingenuity to come out with solutions to overcome the current challenges. And we have seen that from the result that was quoted by the likes of Access Bank, that they increased their earning per shares despite their recapitalization exercises, that it grew from 4.35 to 4.88, and there was an increase of 12.18. So if you look at the results, at top of the issues that we have seen with the banking sector, that their interest income has started dropping, and their operating profit have also started dropping. That tells us that for as many that you are in profit in banking sectors, we have seen results across all board, that this is an opportunity for us to diversify our portfolio. We must not be stuck to a particular sectors. And we have seen the banking sector that majority of the profit that they had last year have started dropping as a result of the capitalization exercise. The numbers of shares now has been diluted. The earning per shares has been diluted. So for people that are already in profit, what we are telling us this morning, that let us move part of our profit to other sectors. We saw what the agricultural sectors are doing, the consumer goods are doing, the structural goods are doing. Let's diversify our portfolio so that going forward, we can be able to enjoy across all board. We saw Zenith Bank also. Because of our time, I would have loved to go through all the results, that their net interest went up by 92.829. But majority of the issues come from their operating expenses that went aside as a result of the increment in salary and a lot of things. So it went as high as 248%, and it affected their what? Their earning per shares. So from the 2 naira, 8 naira, 22 kobo, down to 77 naira, 5 kobo, as a result of what? The lower operating income that was high compared to what they did last year. So this is what we are telling us this morning, that there are a lot of opportunities in the what? In the market. Let us diversify our portfolio. Let's look at other sectors. We have seen results across board. So let's see next week, just for us to see what is happening in other sectors, that the revenue went up by 60.71% because of good, also reduced compared to what they did last year. And the operating costs also increased. We saw that their net fees income went down as high as 89.41. And we've seen that their earning per share that was in negative of 118 naira, 1 kobo, has what increased to 38 naira, 7 kobo. That is a huge opportunity, from negative of 118 naira to a positive of what? 38 naira. That means that there is a turnover from the previous result that they posted last year. And this is a trend. If the first quarter result can be this good, that means that the second, the third quarter is going to what? It will also be good. So this is an opportunity for us to take advantage of the result that we have seen now. Let's diversify our portfolio also from Dangote Sugar, from negative of 5 naira, 68 kobo, now moving close out of the negative zone to negative of 1 naira, 95 kobo. That is an opportunity for people now. This is an opportunity for us to come in, diversify our portfolio, invest in other sectors, and we are going to what? Get a lot of benefit for that decisions. So we also saw the likes of UAC, Transcorp. Because of our time, all this will be sent to us, and NACO also posted a very good result. A bit key about this, the last time they came to the exchange, they explained to us what they are doing, and we have seen their result, their performance from 62 kobo to 2 naira, 22 kobo. That is huge. And any per shares of 62 kobo to 2 naira, 22 kobo is a good result. So this is what we are saying this morning, that the opportunities are available. Take profit from any sector that is what? That you have made profit, and diversify your portfolio. The goal of this meeting this morning is that opportunity is pointing to us, calling us that let's diversify, invest in other sectors, buy now. This is an opportunity for us to buy. What the market is telling us, that the results are good, opportunity for you to buy. If you have profit, take profit from any sectors, like the oil sectors now. We saw what is happening globally, the global tensions, the prices may not be favorable compared to what happened last year. So if you have made profit in oil sectors, why can't you diversify your portfolio, move from that sectors, come to the world, consumer goods, industrial goods, the likes of the insurance goods? The results are good, and this is an opportunity in the first quarter. What I'm saying, that diversify, and you have good profit. So for our recommendation for the week, as we have rightly said, Access Bank is good to go. We saw their results. Stanbic, UCAP, UAB, UBA, Benin Bank, AECO, Mazda, Lasaco, Dangote Cement, WAPO, NASCO, Nestle. We can see that with cost across board, not just only one sectors. Let's diversify our portfolio. If you have profits, I told client last year that we have made enough profit in oil sectors. Why can't we take this profit to other sectors? And if the client felt that, okay, the market micros will always be there, but at the end of the day, the portfolio, the that has been eroded. So take profit from many sectors, move to other sectors. You have good return on your investment. And GTB also, we are telling people to hold Sterling Bank, MRS, Kumu, UACN, hold. And on Eternal Oil and Geregu, our recommendation this morning is that people sell. So dividend for this week, qualification date, opportunity for people that still want to buy in Arade. There's opportunity. Qualification day is on the 6th. May 22nd, AECO for people that want to take that advantage. Dangote Cement also declared 30 naira. The qualification day is on the 10th of June. Mazda is on the 26th of June. And Presco also with a good result. They are the qualification is the day is on the 4th of July. All these opportunities are still available. We can see across all sectors, the agricultural sector, the insurance sectors, the industrial goods, the oil and gas. So let's take actions. Let's diversify our portfolio. Let's take out profit, invest in other sectors, and we have a good return on our investment. And we have seen so far that GTCO has paid their dividend, UBA also has paid. Let's reinvest our dividend. It's going to pay in the long run. So the best investor are the investor that can reinvest for what? For future profit. That is why we are telling our clients, when that have received their dividend, kindly reinvest. Invest. The opportunities are there. Invest, and you are going to have benefits for what? For your investment. And our outlook for the week, we have seen results across all boards from the UAC, Transcorp, PTI, Nestle, Bank, Access Bank, Dangote Sugar, Presco. Have posted good results, and we believe that there is an anticipation that they can sustain this trend and do well. So for the remaining part of the week, we expect a sideward trading. There's going to be a buy and selling opportunity as a result of people want to be taking advantage for people that have made profit in one sectors. They want to sell to go and buy in other sectors. So we expect the market to be a sideward trade for this week. And I've come to the end of the equity market review. The floor is open for questions. If there are questions, the floor is open for questions. So if there are questions, let's make use of for questions. The floor is open for questions. If you have questions, you can make use of the post message to type in your questions or signify by the raise of hands if you have questions. We have a question. Is Arade available in the market? Yes, Arade is available. Arade is available for people that still want to take position. It's still available, and they have not marked down. The dividend also is also available for people that want to take position. So it will be marked down on the 5th of May. So that's the markdown for people that want to take position. So please, what is the opportunity for someone who does not have up to? Okay, we can reach out to you. Just reach out to our customer service. We find a way around it. You don't have up to 250K for the opening of the account. We just reach out to the customer service. We make sure we attend to you. So Mr. Said, please, what stock are you recommending for us to buy in order to take position? We've seen what has happened across board for people that has already positioned in banking sector. So we can look at other sectors like the consumer goods, of the NASCON, the Dangote Sugar. We have also recommended Presco, NACO. So there are a lot of opportunity now in the market for people to earn good profit based on the result that has been posted already. And it's for our recommendation for the week. We've already seen that recommendation. We have the life of Lafarge, Zenith Bank. Yeah. So what are the companies that are good value? What are the companies that are good value to invest for the next any year? We've already recommended Presco, NACO for the agricultural sectors, and for the insurance. Nasdaq Sacco is part of our recommendation. These are the companies that have seen their results, and we believe that they have what it takes to also bring positive results in the other quarter remaining. So, question, Mr. Nwag. You can ask your question now, sir. The floor is open. You are muted, sir. You can ask your question. There are no more percentage yield on your fund, in particular your dollar fund. What is the usual yield per year for the fund?
Okay, thank you for that. The current average yield on the lead dollar fixed income fund is currently hovering around 9%. And looking at where we closed the year 2024, we closed at 9.96%, which we are proud to say we topped the chart of other fixed income fund in the other dollar fixed income fund in the market. But currently the average yield is around 9%, and we are poised to deliver even better returns for the year 2025. But I guess periodically we just update our schedule just to project to our clients where we are. So what our standing is as regards to maybe at the end of every quarter we'll just showcase it to all of our clients so we can see the quarterly returns on the fund. Thank you.
Okay, we have another question. What do you think about Glass? Currently, it's under review, but based on the result that posted, they did well. Their first quarter result was good, and it's under our review. So next week, finally, we are going to come out with something based on the result they have posted. But in that sector, they are doing well. They have been dominating that sectors, and their revenue was about 200% gain first quarter. So it's currently under review. We get back to you. So it's MTN. Yes, MTN, based on their results, the first quarter result, we have seen that from the negative, they are now coming to positive, and we anticipate that their second quarter and their third quarter also is going to be good. We have seen an increase in the prices of what the tariff now has been approved, and that has also impacted on their top earning. So we expect that also. We saw Nigerian Breweries also, their result has been good. They came out with a lot of program last year for their capital raising, and they did well based on their first quarter results. So they are also good to go, both MTN and Nigerian Breweries. Currently, they are good to go. So what's your entry price for Transcorp? For now, based on their result is good, and we are anticipating. For now, we haven't gotten any price, but based on our recommendation, it's good to buy. So there's no any specific entry price, but if the opportunity, depending on the individual at a particular price you want to enter, but there's no specific price from us. But in terms of their performance, it's good to go. So thank you, our high esteemed audience. We really appreciate based on what we have seen there's a question. Yes. So Dangote Sugar currently is under our review. We have seen their first quarter results. They are moving from the negative to positive now, but currently it's under review. We still recommend people to hold while we watch out for their next quarter results. So what about GTCO? GTCO currently, for people that you have profit in GTCO, currently based on our recommendation that people should hold. There's no need for panic. People call this morning that they are hearing a lot of things on social media. That has happened last year, and a lot of people lost their holdings to fake information on the social media. So currently we advise all our clients to hold. There's no need for panic selling. Let's be careful and be well guided. Don't take instructions from outside. Always reach out to us, and we'll be available to recommend based on the current market happenings. So Women Bank result is also out, and their result is fine. So we get back to us next week on that. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate our time out this morning. It has been a wonderful section. We have been a fantastic audience, and the section has been so interactive. So we really appreciate us for joining us this morning, and we wish all our high esteemed lead investors a wonderful trading week. Let's take advantage of the market. This is time for us to diversify our profit, take position in other sectors. So thank you. Do have a wonderful investment week. Thanks.